Jeff Fischel here on the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. Our spotlight game this week, USC versus Boston College. We need some insight into the Trojans. They've looked great, but who are they? Let's bring in Michael Lev, who covers SC for the Orange County Register out in Southern California. Michael, thank you, and give Eagles fans a little primer on what the Trojans have going for them this year. Who are their best players?
Well, this is kind of a new look USC team, especially on the offensive side of the ball. They're running a hurry-up offense and no huddle under Steve Sarkisian, which is something USC has never done before. Cody Kessler is running that show with really kind of a point guard mentality, try to get the ball to his perimeter playmakers as quickly and as often as possible. His main weapon on the outside is Nelson Aguilar, who had a huge game against Stanford last week with 9 catches for 91 yards. The main running threat is Buck Allen, redshirt junior running back who's excellent running between the tackles and also can catch the ball really well.
Now, Michael, in that win over Stanford, SC ran the ball a whole lot more despite having this fast break offense. What's your sense of run versus pass balance, especially as they prepare for Boston College?
That is a great question. I think it's going to be matchup dependent. They did come out throwing the ball against Fresno State, and he said that was largely dictated by the looks that they got from the Fresno State defense. Everyone expected the same against Stanford, but he was determined to run the ball. He felt like teams give up on the run too quickly against the Cardinal, and as a result, kind of gives their pass rushers a free rein to get to the quarterback. So it's hard to say. I mean, obviously Pitt had a lot of success running the ball against Boston College, so I would expect to see the same. But as Sark showed us last week, maybe we should expect the unexpected.
Good point. Now, what concerns perhaps do Sark and his staff have after a couple of games and as they prepare for the Eagles?
Well, I think there's a letdown factor that might be in play here. This is still a young team in a lot of places. The offensive line features 2 true freshmen. There's a bunch of freshmen who play at wide receiver. Again, you're going on the road into hostile territory. Things can happen with crowd noise, false starts. I think that would be my second concern. And then just kind of in the big picture of things with this team, there isn't a lot of depth because they're still under NCAA sanctions for 1 more year. They're going to dress fewer than 50 scholarship players. And so if a couple of injuries hit them early in the game, that could be an issue as well.
Now, I have to ask, since I have you, to talk about SC football. Between the Pat Hayden, Steve Sarkisian moment on the sidelines the other day, you have the Josh Shaw moment, and coming out of the sanctions, is SC the most fascinating team in college football to follow and watch right now?
I think right now and for several years back, it's just kind of never a dull moment around here. There's always something interesting going on. They're kind of in a way, they're kind of that flagship franchise of college football, sort of like the Dallas Cowboys, and there's always some sort of drama going on. Maybe that's because USC is just a prominent program. Maybe it's the, being in the nation's entertainment capital. But the one thing that Sarkisian said this morning, in fact, was that his players do a really good job of blocking all that out. They're very focused. Maybe they're just used to there being a lot of noise surrounding the program. And as a result of that, they're really able to focus on football, really kind of key in when they need to. And that shows, and that showed in their performance in the first 2 games.
That's Michael Lev from the Orange County Register. He covers the USC Trojans all season long. Remember, the Spotlight game this week, Boston College and USC. For more on the Spotlight game, make sure you check out theacc.com. I'm Jeff Fischel. You're watching the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Regents.